So, hello everyone. My name is Sari Hakim. I'm from Nazareth in Palestine, and today I'll be presenting my performance task 2, my individual presentation, which talks about Emil Habibi's life and his impact on the Palestinian struggle. So, first of all, who is Emil Habibi? Emil Habibi is a Palestinian who was born in Beit Shmande, Haifa in 1922. He's recognized as a prominent Palestinian author and activist and continues to be revered and celebrated as an author who depicted the story of the Palestinian struggle in his many works. So, for historical context, obviously this all plays out in the Middle East, where before 1948, this is what Palestine looked like. And overnight, this happened. This event is known as the Nakba, or the catastrophe in English. It created many massacres against Palestinian villages and resulted in the displacement of over 750,000 Palestinians. It ultimately created the first Zionist state worldwide and burst the symbol of the key for Palestinians. This key represents the hope for a return for Palestinians where they took the key of their homes during the war and left, hoping to come back later to their homes. However, when they came back, that's if they came back, they found that these homes have been completely destroyed or have been occupied by an Israeli. During this time, Habibi was only 26 years old, and one of his biggest challenges was that his entire family became a part of the Palestinian diaspora. They went to either Lebanon or Syria looking for refuge, but Habibi decided to stay, leave his own mother and family, and go back to his home city in Haifa. So this painting in front of us here is called Confrontation on the Bridge by prominent Black artist Jacob Lawrence. Made in 1975, it represents the African American struggle, where on the right of the painting here, we see African Americans, who in front of them stands the wolf. This wolf represents America at the time, where segregation, violence, and extreme racism was very prevalent. I chose this article as it stands as a beacon of hope as it inspired me to explore the complexities of marginalized communities worldwide. The wolf for me also represents checkpoints. As for me, living in the West Bank, I go through checkpoints every day, and it's similar to the Palestinian struggle where Palestinians to this day face racism, segregation, and extreme violence as African Americans during that time. As mentioned earlier, Habib was a prominent Palestinian author who produced many works such as The Peace Optimist, Mandelbaum Gate, and Sarai, the Ogre's Daughter. He has many more prominent works and worked in very famous magazines such as the Al-Ittihad. In those works, he used often talked about themes of Palestinian identity, resilience, resistance, and struggle. He used literary tools such as satire, irony, humor, and characterization to create deeply complex characters and stories which received a lot of positive feedback worldwide. Habib was also a politician where for over 20 years he worked in the Israeli parliament. Upon joining the Israeli parliament in 1952, Habibi helped co-found the Israeli Communist Party, otherwise known as the Maki. Within its ranks, Habibi spoke out against injustices towards the Palestinians. Habibi was also a major advocate and firm believer in the two-state solution. This promoted him as one of the foremost voices for peace for Palestinians around the world. At the same time, however, he received major backlash. Tabai al Habibi, as we see here, continued to fight for his people and the Palestinians until the very end. So moral courage is defined as the ability to stand up for what is right in the face of difficulty and personal danger. I chose this article because it motivated me to delve deeper into themes of individual integrity in my writing. One of Habibi's biggest challenges was faced during his time in the Israeli Knesset, or the parliament in English, where in the Knesset he spoke out and demonstrated intelligent disobedience, which is defined as the defiance of unjust laws. He spoke out where he spoke out against laws such as the absentee property law, which regulated the confiscation of thousands of Palestinian lands, and he spoke up about the citizenship and entry law into Israel, which pretty much took away the Palestinians' right for freedom of movement within their own land. Speaking about Speaking out against those injustices created a major challenge for Emil Habibi, as of course being a Palestinian in the newly created Zionist state, received a major violence, threats, and intimidation. However, Habibi never yielded to these threats or intimidations. He fought back against them by organizing and creating peaceful protests and marches, where he utilized those to notify his people about the situation and educate them about what's going on. Habibi's legacy and influence continues to live on to this day. He inspired thousands of the next generation to continue writing about Palestine and explore themes of resistance and identity in their works. Habibi's works have been translated into over 16 languages worldwide, ensuring that his message reaches audiences everywhere. Habibi also won both the Israeli and Palestinian prizes for literature, being the first and last ever person to do so. He was also nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, which unfortunately he didn't win. This recognized him as a prominent figure of the Palestinian liberation movement, earning him a lasting place among greats such as Mahmoud Darwish and Ghassan Kinafani. So these two links at the bottom on this page are interviews that delve deeper into the life of Emil Habibi. The first being an interview with Emil Habibi's son Salam Habibi, where during that interview we explore Emil Habibi's personal life and how he acted day to day. We explored his passions, what he does, what he likes. And the latter is an interview with Emil Habibi's close friend and political advisor, Samir Ghanadri. And in that interview, we talk more about strategies and how was Emil Habibi's life in politics and his way of thinking. You are free to watch these interviews over on YouTube. And during the latter interview, we also see a feature from Rawia Habibi, who's actually my grandmother, that we see there on the right. The seas are wide and flow together. They have no borders and have room enough for all fish. This quote further solidifies Emir Habibi's legacy for wanting peace as we continue to honor his legacy and commit ourselves to carry out his vision of a more fair and peaceful society for all. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Sari. I'd like to ask you, what was your methodology for putting your piece together?
First of all, thank you for this great question. I used multiple methods to build this presentation. As I just mentioned, I conducted interviews with people close to Emil Habibi to understand him. I also read many biographies and reports about his works and writings to further gain knowledge about how he thought and how he did stuff. And in fact, I also read some of his own works, including like Mandelbaum Gate, which helped me gain a deeper understanding and allowed me to see like an inside look on his themes and his visions on and narratives on how he writes stuff.
All right, and
Any more
why this,
questions?
why this subject?
Okay, so I chose this topic because, of course, Emil Habibi is my great grandfather. It's a personal connection. His legacy serves as a source of inspiration and the guidance in my own life. He plays like a role model in my life. And as a Palestinian myself, I recognize the importance of shedding light on these influential figures and reading about them because these figures like Habibi within Palestinian like further enhanced Palestinian culture, and reading about him and learning about him enhanced my knowledge of my heritage and my history of resilience within our people. And his life continues to inspire me to delve deeper into the understanding of Palestinian life. And yeah, pretty much that's why he's basically a role model for me.
Do you think this is a group project or a individual project? I mean, would it work better if somebody was working with you?
So I believe no, I feel like working on this individually is better for me as it allowed me to maintain and control creativity within this topic. It allowed me to explore nuanced topics that otherwise I wouldn't have went into because of the group's goals. It allowed me to allocate my time and my effort into this project and ensure I have a perfect outcome, not having to rely on any other members or people which might hold me back. And this also like provides me like a complexive, more comprehensive like exploration of my topic. It allows me to read about it more, to do more stuff that I want, include more of my ideas rather than the groups. So I believe this was better conducted as an individual project.
All right, okay. And thank you very much.
Thank you.